From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, good morning, everyone. If you live in the mountains, you probably experienced some thunderstorms. At least many of you did. And even the north end of the valley got to see some activity. We'll take a close look at that radar from last night here in a bit. But we do have more mountain thunderstorms today. But we're beginning to see those chances get slimmer and slimmer over the next couple of days. Drying out and warming up. And we're talking about the first significant heat wave of the season. We're probably going to start hearing about heat advisories, especially as we start getting those temperatures closer to 110 degrees in the valley. This is what it looks like today. Of course, you've got the mostly cloudy skies along the coast and dry conditions for everyone, for both Del Norte and Humboldt counties. You take you out into the valley where temperatures around 95 for Redding, a little bit cooler as you head southward. Chico, a high today of about 92 degrees. Let's take you out into the mountains, and don't let this fool you. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a ton of lightning strikes, but I think we're still going to see that chance as we go through the afternoon. Weaverville, a chance for showers, thunderstorms, but for Paradise, you'll probably be looking at drier conditions out there. Let's take a look at the latest lake levels. We update this every 24 hours in the morning at about 4 a.m. So these are the updates as of 4 o'clock this morning, and there you can see we've seen a slight drop. Now basically Shasta Lake and Oroville, for all intents and purposes, are pretty much full, right? We know that. So we're going to see a variation kind of going up and down as we're seeing some of that snow melt and as we see some release coming from those lakes. But Trinity, we're still seeing a slight increase. It's been less than a quarter of a foot every 24 hours, but it's still an increase nonetheless, and we'll certainly take it. All right, let's talk about that radar here. The thunderstorms in Trinity County, Siskiyou, Modoc. We eventually saw those thunderstorms make their way into Lassen County, and not to mention Plumas County seeing some activity here. And there's around Boerne too, just south and east of Boerne. But we did see some activity coming in from the north. It did hit the north end of the valley, city of Shasta Lake, Redding. You know what I'm talking about. You certainly saw that those lightning strikes out there. But now, of course, things have dried out significantly. Of course, completely. Right now we're seeing the showers and really the main area of low pressure responsible for that shifting off to the east. But what we're seeing here are kind of clear skies to start off the day. For most of us, of course, the coast still seeing some of the low clouds and fog out there. But this morning, taking to the afternoon, this is going to be typical, and you've probably noticed this, especially if you're in the valley. You look off in the distance, right, and you go, wow, look at all these beautiful puffy cumulus clouds developing. Those are those thunderstorms developing, and we could eventually see some of those develop later on this afternoon. Not as widespread as it was yesterday. I don't anticipate seeing much, if anything, for the valley, but we can't rule it out, especially for the north end of the valley around Redding, maybe as far south as Red Bluff. But overall, should be dry in the valley. Now let's take it to 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe, just maybe, a little bit of activity for some of us in the mountains, but overall it's drying out. Wednesday, we could see another round, but you see how you're just not seeing much activity popping up. So maybe the northern Sierra, quite possibly in the southern Cascades, but overall, it's going to be dry, especially, I think, for Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, not to mention the valley and the coast. This is Thursday. No rain here. It looks like we're finally breaking away from those thunderstorms. And now let's talk about the heat. We've got a bit of a heat wave coming in. Now let's talk about Saturday being the peak of that heat wave. This heat will then shift southward, and some cooler air will kind of break off from this pocket of cooler air to over Canada. So we'll call it warm instead of hot. So this is that drop in the temperatures I was talking about. We've got the main heat over us on Saturday. That kind of pushes to the south and allows some slightly cooler air to move in, but as I mentioned, it's still going to be hot out there nonetheless. Looking at the temperature outlook, this is the trend, right? So July 3rd through July 7th, above normal. Let's take a look at July 5th through July 11th. You see how we're seeing less of those deeper reds and more of those oranges? That's because really good chance of above normal, slimmer chances of above normal. Okay, so you get the idea here. We are seeing that drop in those temperatures here. This is a heat wave. It's summer heat, but we're not going to be looking at a prolonged period of 110 plus degree temperatures. Here's what it looks like today. We're starting to see those temperatures creep up in the valley in particular. 92 for Chico, 95 for Redding. Again, maybe a stray shower for parts of the valley. Otherwise, it's mainly the mountains that we'll see the chance for thunderstorms today. Temperatures in the 70s for the southern Cascades and northern Sierra. For Trinity County in the upper 80s and maybe some low 90s in there. And for the coast, you're looking at those upper 50s to around 60 degrees here. Take a look at the 7-day forecast. All right, so here's what I have for Mount Shasta City today and Alturas and Susanville. This is the best chance for thunderstorms today. Slimmer chances as we go into Wednesday, and then by Thursday, it's all pretty much gone. Take a look at Redding. Now, I've taken out the wording for showers, maybe even a chance, but we can't rule it out. Be aware of that. If you work outdoors, especially if you work in a lawn or you're a roofer, for example, keep an eye to the sky, right? Because we could see some of that activity coming again in the evening, although by then, usually a lot of people are done working. There you can see for Weaverville, that chance for showers and thunderstorms, and for the coast, in Eureka that is, temperatures upper 50s to low 60s, getting warmer and also clearing out, it looks like by the weekend into early next week.